And as usual, I trust that you enjoyed your meal from the wonderful staff here at Westbury, where we have our meetings 12:15 every Tuesday here. And this is an open invitation to those that are interested in Rotary to contact me, Mark Weindorf, incoming President George Tronner, and we'd be happy to talk to you about an exciting career in Rotary. But towards that end, we all welcome you to our 2019 Rotary Grant Awards. And as we wrap up our club year, this is how we share the fruits of our labor. As we indicated last year, they are also your gifts. Everyone that purchased something at the Rotary booth at the fair, attended our variety show at the ICC, bought Rotary roses at $15 a dozen. By the way, you beat that price around Christmas time. You helped make all this possible. President Mark Weindorf and President-elect George Tronner, I know, pass along their thanks to our Rotary Board, that being Tess Skilsky-Irwin, Lisa Paraska, Lowell Hepler, Tim Bracken, Todd Erdos, and Deana Burge. And also our indispensable treasurer, Chris Seeley, for helping to make the difficult decisions as to who to select from the over $73,000 worth of requests for help that we had this year. There is no shortage in our area of need. However, Meadville is a special community with groups like the Center for Family Services that have been providing assistance for over 150 years, and our own Rotary Club for nearly 100. Every single day of every single year, someone or some group is helping someone else, most without fanfare or acclaim. We welcome the younger people that have come into the community within the last few years with the projects, and we are extending an open invitation to them all to join us here at Rotary and join these groups that are going to be presenting here. We need them. We need them so valuably because you'll get a chance to meet the folks that are here and hear their work. They need help. We're satisfying some of their financial needs today, but not all of them. They have a need for the human resources. And so from that standpoint, if you can't contribute financially, roll up your sleeves and give them a hand. And again, these younger folks, we welcome the work that they're doing, and we're extending that invitation. Come join us. Come help us do what we've been doing for over 100 years, for over 150 years. I ask all of the awardees to let us know how we can help you help others. I'm about to hand the program over to Deana Burge, our Grants Program Director. We benefit from her professional knowledge of this complex aspect of our work. We also sadly acknowledge the passing of her predecessor, longtime Rotarian Charlotte Betting, with a special grant this year from proceeds of memorials that she requested be sent to the Rotary Club of Meadville. And now, a Rotarian that has advanced the program in a way that made Charlotte proud. Ladies and gentlemen, Deana Burge.
Thank you, Joe. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Thank you, Joe. I've been doing this program, I think this is my 5th year that I've been doing this, the grant program for the Meadville Rotary Club. And this year we had the most amount of applicants ever. We had a record 26 number of applications. Total amount requested, as Joe said, was over $70,000. That just goes to show the need that we have in our community. And not to beat a dead horse, but as Joe said, we would like everybody in this room to continue your support of the Rotary, to patronize our booth, to buy our flowers, and we would very much like you to be a member of our club. Who knows, someday maybe instead of giving out $10,000 a year, we can give out $20,000, $30,000 a year. We welcome everybody. I'm going to just call the grant recipients up one at a time. If you can please just state a little bit about your organization and what you plan on doing with your grant award. The first organization is the Sagertown Area Library, represented by Paula Brown. They are receiving a grant in the amount of $1,000 to purchase children and young adult books for the Sagertown Library. There you go, Paula.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So much. Thank you very, very much, Deana, and the whole Rotary. The library is a community place It's a place where people gather, and we have computers and printers and classes, but the root of the library has always been books. And we are so grateful that we have this to purchase children's books and young adults books. It's close to my heart as a young adult librarian, because we are able to have families come in all walks of life and they can have books for their children. We're getting excited for summer reading. It's a universe of stories and a little space theme there, but it'll be really exciting, and we'll have books. So thank you so much.
As well, with the books that they purchased from their grant, they're going to put nameplates in each book, noting that these books were due in part from the donation that they received from us today. Thank you for that. Ashley Thies from Westbury is here. They are also receiving a grant today. They're receiving a grant in the amount of $2,000, and it is for a ceiling-mounted projector and screen in the Lingo dining room. I think this
Yes,
room here,
yes. Mm-hmm.
which will help improve presentations and meetings. I know that this room is used by a lot of different community organizations, and I know that we, the Rotary, appreciate it, as does other organizations. So. Oh, wrong one. I thought I put these in order.
That's okay. Thank you. I mean, she pretty much covered everything I had to say, but yes, what we want to do is put a dedicated mounted projector and screen in here, because not only does Rotary use it, we have Kiwanis, Roundtable, and a lot of our residents actually are part of these groups, so they will benefit. There won't be an emergency need for a projector anymore. It'll be, you are guaranteed to have one if you use this room. And we just hope that more organizations will come in, because I've seen a lot of educational presentations, stuff like that, and I think that's a really great thing for the community to have, just stuff about wildlife and the community and all kinds of things like that. So thank you very much for this.
You're welcome. Tamarack Wildlife Center. Carol Holmgren is representing Tamarack Wildlife Center. I thought this was so interesting, so you're going to explain it better to us. But they're going to use their grant fund in the amount of $1,500 to purchase exam tables and lighting for use in their treatment rooms. The Tamarack Wildlife Center, they rehab birds and other animals and then release them back into the wild. And they're also using their grant money for equipment, Wi-Fi equipment and a camera, so that they can remotely monitor their patients as they recover. So if you could please tell us a little bit about your organization and take your check.
Thank you so very much. It's been a real delight to get to know Rotary better in the last year. You guys are such an amazing group of fun and committed and funny and compassionate people, so I appreciate all the support you give to our community, as well as everybody who supports Rotary. At Tamarack, we are a licensed wildlife rehabilitation and education center, so we think globally, and we all know that there's some pretty big environmental problems out there, and then we act locally. And we do that in two ways. One is through education programs, reaching over 9,000 people a year, and also in treating injured and orphaned wildlife, helping them become healthy, and then releasing them back into the environment. And we also serve each of the people who finds an animal in need, and that's a way that we can do counseling and hopefully capitalize on their care and concern to help create a better environment for us all. So thank you for this award, which will help us purchase 2 exam tables, which will be stainless steel and easier to disinfect. Also exam lighting, when just like in a doctor's office or in a veterinary office, having really good lighting helps us better assess our patients. And so we really look forward to having an improvement in lighting to assist us in our work. And then as patients recover, they move from an intensive care unit to outdoor aviaries and caging, where they regain conditioning. And oftentimes it's helpful if we are able to monitor, what are they doing out there? whether it's an eagle, how is it flying? Is it sometimes our patients can get stressed and damage themselves, so being able to monitor how they are behaving in an aviary is helpful. We also raise a number of orphans, and some of them need to go through hunt practice. And just because certain prey items are removed from the aviary, we don't necessarily know how well they're doing that. How many did they successfully hunt something on the first try, or did it take them 20 times? And so being able to have video monitoring of our patients will help us better assess, are they ready to go, and are they ready for release, and to serve our community. So thank you so very much.
The ARC of Crawford County also received a grant in the amount of $1,200. This is for an outdoor movie projector and a screen for a new community venue that they're creating in Meadville. I believe they tore down a building and making it a green space, and I can't recall where that building.
It was the old Meadville Club.
Okay, yes. Unfortunately, Mark Weindorf could not be here today, so I'll accept this on his behalf. Active Aging applied for and received a grant this year. Donna Cessna is here representing Active Aging. They are getting a grant in the amount of $500 for an iPad and cover to use in their new library and media center. And if anybody hasn't been by Active Aging lately, they're doing a beautiful job there. They're undergoing a big renovation, and it looks wonderful. And if you could just maybe give us a little update on that status, Donna, I think we'd appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're undergoing a $1 million plus renovation down at Active Aging. Gone are the days of your grandmother's senior center. No more 8-foot tables with folding chairs. We're creating an environment that younger seniors will be drawn to, kind of a coffee shop kind of situation. What studies show is that socialization is very important in the mental and physical health of those aging. And loneliness knows no economic status. So our goal is to get younger seniors in there before they start getting isolated and create an environment where they're going to invite friends and just flourish because there are things to do there that they are interested in. You know, we've had the reputation of being the place where the old poor people eat, and that is not the case. And the services that are provided by our social workers are services that people have no idea that they may be eligible for. So getting people into the building is the goal, and getting them socialized. Things like cooking classes, how to cook for 2 people or 1, you know, and then we'll have this media center, including some iPads where they can be socializing online or looking up recipes, things like that. We have a little library in there. We've got a dance studio now. There's an art room, an exercise facility on the first floor. So all of our services will now be on the first floor, where they were kind of disjointed before. So there'll be more of a community building effort going on there. So this grant is very helpful in purchasing the periphery stuff that we need to make this dream come true. So thank you very much, the Rotary.
Arianna O'Connell is going to be coming up. She's representing the Crawford County Coalition on Housing Needs. Accompanying her is Bonnie Blair. They are receiving $1,500, and this is going to be for matching funds for a roof replacement on South Main Place. And if you could please tell us a little bit about South Main Place, I would appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you so much. Hi. So as mentioned, I'm Arianna and this is Bonnie, and we're both representing the Crawford County Coalition on Housing Needs. The coalition is a collection of many social service agencies in the community that support housing issues and housing needs. So we help people who are homeless and near homeless not only gain access to housing, but also other supports. And we want people to find healthy, safe, and affordable housing. We have an emergency shelter in South Main Place, which is 5 units of emergency shelter, and on top of that are 5 affordable housing units that are apartments. And we also have many other units. We have a transitional housing unit and apartments and 4 homes. So a lot of different things that we're involved with, and we're often part of making people's lives go into the next step. So folks who have been homeless or near homeless need a lot of support as they figure out how to get out of back debt or other issues. So we're there throughout all of those steps. In about October of last year, I think it was, we discovered that there was a leak in the roof of the emergency shelter, which was leaking into the 2nd floor apartment and then eventually into the 1st floor. And this is a really big problem because it's such a large building, and we're trying to make sure that folks who might not have been living in a home for a while feel safe and secure. And so we've been kind of pushing forward on this project to make sure that we retain the one shelter in Crawford County that allows men with children to be able to stay together instead of being separated. And so with the funds that we will be gaining from the Rotary, we will be able to match the funds that we receive from the Pennsylvania Fair Housing grant. And we also just wanted to thank the Rotary because we support we appreciate your support in us trying to end homelessness through this grant, and we could not do so many of our efforts without community support. And we're very excited to work on this project and hopefully have some of you come as volunteer workers or offer any of your guidance on issues around home maintenance, or if you have any type of housing kits or extra shampoo that you have, we are always looking for donations. Thank you.
Bethesda Foundation for Children is being represented by our development team today that is comprised of Amanda Shields and Victoria Soff. Bethesda is receiving $2,000 to replace some outdated playground equipment.
Nope, sorry, wrong way.
Tag team. There you go.
Thank
girls.
you. Well, thank you everyone, the Rotary, for choosing us and everyone for being here today. Donna, thank you so much for saying about what the public thinks about these different social service places. Bethesda Lutheran Services and the Foundation for Children are always working to improve that public mindset, and this is a great way to do that with a new playground equipment for both our education center children, which includes some of our residential students, but also some people who just use our facility for the day for the education center, and our Right Start for Young Mothers. Both mommy and baby can use these new facilities and the funds that will provide that for them to really help make their experience with Bethesda as, air quotes, normal life and adolescent life as possible.
We've had a reputation over the last few years, and I'm sure George has maybe mentioned it 1 or 2 times, that we are not a place where the bad kids go. We're really trying to change that image, and these are just normal kids. They deserve to have a normal experience. A playground, as simple as it may seem to some, really means a lot to these kids. We just had recently a donation of some office chairs and stuff like that for a conference room, and one of the kids mentioned how important it made him feel that we actually got a donation of something as simple as a chair. And so this is going to be fantastic. We can't wait to get it up in this coming, pretty soon, as soon as we order it, and have everybody come out and take a look at it and just experience truly what Bethesda is and who these kids are and why we're in this community celebrating our centennial this year. So thank you Rotary. Thank everyone for coming today. We appreciate it.
So if you tallied up the total amount of grants that we're giving out this year, it's going to be more than $10,000. That's because this year, one of our, as Joe mentioned, a longtime Rotarian, Charlotte Beddick, passed away, and we received donations on her behalf, and we thought that in her honor we would give a special grant to somebody. And of all the grant applications that we received, we tried to pick one that we thought would mean something to her, be special to her, and her family concurred. So I'm happy to announce that the Foundation for Sustainable Forests is going to be receiving a grant from us in the amount of $750. They're going to use it for a projector to use for educational purposes to the public, landowners, schools. This organization was new to me, so I understand it's a land trust, and they also provide education and advocacy for forestry. So if John Bartlett could please come up here. There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and thank all of you. I can't begin to express, and I'm expressing this on behalf of everybody at the foundation, how important and how appreciative we are of this. For many small nonprofits, and where they skimp in their budgeting is the day-to-day things you need, not, you know, that for presentations, that kind of thing. Well, we don't have the money in the budget for a projector. Give you a very brief history of our projector. I was the first staff person with the foundation. I'm now a volunteer. But when I came on board, I realized we needed, and we started to do some educational programming 10 years ago, needed a projector. And I was able to get a supporter to loan us his, which became almost a permanent, well, it did, because there was even an evening when we needed it and he needed it, and he borrowed his son's and left us with his. So we're still using it, but what happened is as things change and we started to do some DVD presentations, the newer ones somehow aren't compatible. It just doesn't work. So, you know, the $750 for a projector means a great deal to us because education on forestry issues is so important at so many levels. People drive around and they see green and they think, that's great, our trees, that's a forest. There's a difference between a bunch of trees and a forest, which is a very complex ecosystem. And Pennsylvania's forests, from small woodlots to large expansive areas owned by TIMOs, Timber Investment Management Groups and so on, are in deep trouble. And part of that is that we really only have one generation of trees worth of knowledge that we're basing our forestry on. Everything in Pennsylvania was cut clean. And I mean, if you've seen pictures of 1900 roughly, you can't believe how clean it was cut. And things came back and people thought, well, we do that, we can do that again. Well, you can't because you've changed things. So we take an approach very light-handed. We advocate that. We try to show woodland owners and the public at large how a different approach to forestry and partnering with nature more than trying to control what you're doing, being perhaps in a sense reactive rather than trying to make the outcome. You can have a better forestry and over long term have greater biodiversity and sustain our forest ecosystems and our rural economies. People don't realize that in Crawford County there's a significant number of people employed in the forest products industry, but they're 1 and 2 here, 4 or 5 there. We don't see the role that plays in our economy, and it's huge. Last figures I saw in Pennsylvania, there were about 64,000 people in the forest products industry. That was down some 20,000 from the recession that just devastated the housing and all of that. If that had been a concentrated industry, people would have been shocked to see that loss of employment, but because it happens a few here, a couple there, you don't realize it. Forestry is important, and managing our forests are important at so many levels, to birds, to other wildlife, to the forest plants, to doing it in a way that you can see what's occurring, and as change occurs, walk in step with it and have a much more natural forest and a much healthier forest. But again, this is a fantastic gift for us. We the last 2 years of partnering with the French Creek Valley Conservancy to do a film series. And I think it was the second one, Annie took our projector, our borrowed projector, only to discover it didn't work with the new high definition blue. I mean, it would come up, but it wouldn't, I don't know how to explain it, stutter? It might be the right word. So again, thank you very much. I think we've distributed some brochures, and if you please take a look, and we'd love to tell you a whole lot more about it. I could go on for way longer than you'd want me to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John, and once again, thank you to all of our organizations. You do such good things. Continue to do your good things, and on behalf of Rotary, we're very pleased to be able to support you. Did you want to close out, Joe? And a special thanks to Joe, too, because by default, he's in this role today since our president could not attend today.
Well,
he's a trooper.
Well, no, it's my pleasure, and that's kind of the Rotary concept is, you know, sort of the next person up. And how about a round of applause for Deana and the wonderful, I can tell you that her professional expertise being brought into this, and Charlotte would be proud because our concept in Rotary is that we take it and we just have the next person grow it. And that really has been the concept of our 100-year existence nearly, and also what happened with this grants program. And I think that Charlotte's smiling down today because what we're able to do and the impact that these grants, these $10,000 into the community, again, your money, the money that you spent on our Rotary treats at the fair, the roses that you buy from us in December, our variety show that will be in February, Chris? I think so, February of next year. That your money comes back into the community and benefits all these wonderful projects that you just heard about. And another note too, as I said at the beginning, if you can give money, that's great, buy our products, that's great, but the biggest thing that all of these organizations need is they need your help. And so from that standpoint, we heard, you know, if you can contribute shampoo, or if you can maybe spread the word about some of these things, but also your physical manifestation. There's a lot of people that want to do things, and oftentimes you hear, well, nobody asked me to do it. Well, consider this your personal invitation to join all these different groups, because the work that they do could be impacted so much, as you heard from, even with regard to providing roofs for some of these projects there. If you could come down and you have any expertise at all that you could help them out with that project, or you could provide some of the material support and all the rest of these groups that are going on right now. That's the kind of contribution that sometimes money can't buy. And that's what we're asking you to do today, is that your community is a caring community. As Dr. Dixon, a member of ours with regard to the beloved community, the Meadville community is a beloved community. And as I indicated earlier, every single day, every single moment, there's a group, there's a person that's doing something for somebody else. Be part of the solution. Be part of that beloved community. On behalf of the Rotary, I thank all of you for your time and your support of us, and we hope that you have a great day. Thank you.